A shooting that injured a Pasco police officer this morning sparked a chase that ended more than 2.5 miles away with the suspect injured. We'll hear from investigators. Plus, we're seeing more of that breezy, unsettled weather that rolled in last night. Jason Valentine has a look at your weekend coming up. And Gonzaga advances to the Elite Eight. We'll hear from players after that thrilling win over UCLA.
Now, KAPP KVEW local news at 5.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Warner. We begin with that shooting in Pasco that sent an officer to the hospital and led to a chase. KAPP KVEW's Riley Fitzgerald has been tracking this story for us throughout the day.
A Pasco police officer is recovering after being shot early Friday morning at Circle K on Court Street just off of US 395 in Pasco. Police tell us they were responding to a report of reckless driving. An officer walked up to the suspect car and got shot. Police say the car took off, but officers tracked it down nearby.
The suspect vehicle was located and a pursuit was initiated when the vehicle refused to stop. As the pursuit approached the area of Road 64 and Argent, responding officers advised that shots had been fired. A Benton County deputy was involved in a shooting that resulted at the end of the pursuit.
The suspected shooter was taken into custody and treated at a hospital. Police say the officer is expected to survive, and the Special Investigations Unit has confirmed that the officer has been released from the hospital. The SIU is handling this case now. That's where any further updates will be coming from. As we get more information, you can find it on our website, yaktrinews.com.
Thanks, Riley. And now let's talk about that weather that's moving in. Jason Valentine has a look at your weekend.
Good Friday evening, everyone, and welcome to the first weekend of spring for 2023. Hope you had a wonderful day today. And folks, a little bit of everything today, very spring-like, and we're still seeing some winds in our regions. Those are going to slow down overnight. We're going to see right around 10-mile-per-hour winds. We're going to see much calmer conditions overnight with those winds slowing down. Overnight, we're going to be right around the freezing mark, so another cool morning for you for your Saturday. But we do expect mostly sunny skies, though in the afternoon we could see a shower or two start slipping in. Now for our weekend, we're going to be well below our average by about 10 to 5 degrees. So for most of our areas, mid to upper 40s to lower 50s. So get ready for things to be pretty chilly. By the time we get to Sunday, things are going to very much settle down, and we do expect a warm up in our next work week, but still at or below our average. So no real heat spikes or really cool spikes on the way. Very below average temperatures for the start of spring. So folks, I'll get you ready for your weekend and our next work week in my forecast. That's coming up later in the show. But for right now, I'm going to send it back to you.
Thanks, Jason. The state Supreme Court says Washington's controversial capital gains tax should be allowed to stand. This debate has been going on for years now. Washington lawmakers approved a tax in 2021 that will kick in if you make more than $250,000 in 1 year buying and selling on the stock market or by selling certain assets like art or boats. And here's the problem, though. Opponents say the money you make in a year is your income, no matter where it comes from. And Washington's Constitution does not allow income taxes. But today, the state Supreme Court ruled that the capital gains tax is an excise tax, which means it's a tax on certain activities, in this case, selling assets. Now, the state has already begun collecting the capital gains tax. That money will go towards education. And today, Washington state lawmakers in the House Civil Rights and Judiciary Committee voted to advance a proposal effectively carving a loophole in federal protections for the firearm industry. Senate Bill 5078 would make it easier for victims of violence to sue gun makers based on how their weapons are advertised. It would also require gun sellers to take extra steps to make sure that their merchandise is not contributing to a public nuisance, in this case, crime. Again, that bill has passed the committee. It will continue to advance in the legislature. The same committee debated and voted on a proposal that would create harsher punishments for people caught participating in illegal street racing and other potentially dangerous stunts. Senate Bill 5606 says if you're arrested for illegal racing, your car could be impounded for 3 days. If you're convicted of a second offense, the courts can just take your car away. Now that bill passed through although several committee members raised concerns about whether or not it will actually work.
With the current state of the law as it is on police pursuits, we wonder how in the world will any officer be able to actually effectuate this bill?
It's almost as if this amendment would allow the police to engage in street racing with the street racers and endanger the public further.
Now, a proposal that would change the restrictions on police chases, giving officers more flexibility on when to start a chase, did pass the Senate just before a key deadline earlier this month. It's set for a House committee vote coming up next week. Today, President Biden visited Canada and announced a joint plan with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to tighten border controls. The new policy will specifically impact people traveling through the United States to Canada illegally and then claiming asylum. ABC's Lindsay Watts has an in-depth look at that change.
President Biden in Ottawa for his first presidential visit to Canada.
It's an honor to be here. We have a lot to talk about.
Topics on the table for Biden and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau include upgrades to NORAD in light of the Chinese spy balloon that entered both countries, the war in Ukraine, and migration. Biden and Trudeau announcing they've struck a new agreement that will close a loophole in existing rules on asylum seekers.
The United States and Canada will work together to discourage unlawful border crossings and fully implement the updated Safe Third Country Agreement.
The deal allows Canada to send more people seeking asylum back to the U.S. Currently, if someone crosses from America into Canada seeking asylum, Canada can send that person back to the U.S., but only if the person crosses at an official port of entry. The same rules apply for those crossing from Canada into the U.S. The problem for Canada, more and more people have been entering the country from unofficial crossings, primarily this rural road in New York State that connects with Quebec. 40,000 people crossed at these unofficial places last year, a major spike. The hope is the new deal will cut that down. Canada has long been pushing for the change. In return, the country will allow 15,000 more people to legally migrate to Canada, including those fleeing violence in South and Central America. This new agreement is taking effect almost immediately at 12:01 a.m. Saturday. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
Now, officials told the Associated Press the policy is taking effect very quickly to try and avoid a surge of people trying to cross illegally at the last minute. Local officials, though, said a sudden change left them struggling to come up with a system to make sure that everyone has the services they need. A new report says the death rates from COVID-19 were very different between states. People who got the virus in places like Arizona and New Mexico were around 4 times as likely to die compared to people who got the virus in states like New Hampshire and Maine. The researchers say poverty and vaccination rates appeared to have an impact on those death rates, and they specifically mentioned states like Washington did a good job restricting travel, which is also credited with keeping death rates lower. Gonzaga is moving on to the Elite Eight in the NCAA men's basketball tournament thanks to a thrilling last-minute win over UCLA in Las Vegas. The Zags struggled early in the game. They came back strong in the second half, ultimately taking a 3-point lead in the final moments of the game that UCLA tried but failed to answer.
I said, can I shoot it if I'm open? And then he kind of yelled at me, like, there's no way you just asked me that. Like, of course you can shoot it. And that's the PG version. But, yeah, so they got so much confidence in me. And, I mean, it's easy to rise up for a shot like that when everybody's believing in me.
It's crazy. I mean, we knew going in it was going to be a crazy finish, a close one. And thank God they didn't hit a Jalen Suggs shot on us.
Bulldogs will now face the University of Connecticut Huskies in the Elite Eight coming up tomorrow. And about 1,500 high school students from across the state of Washington are in Yakima this weekend to compete at the WIAA State Championships for dance and drill. KAPP-KVEW's Emily Goodell spoke to organizers who say these dancers have worked incredibly hard this season in order to qualify for the competition.
There are 93 performances today alone, and I've seen team after team practicing outside, in the hallways, anywhere they can to make sure their performance will be perfect. That's because unlike sports competitions where students may have upwards of an hour to showcase their skills, the dancers here only have a few minutes, which means every second counts. Organizers say these students are the best of the best, competing in several competitions to qualify to get here. And despite the competitive atmosphere, the dancers are overwhelmingly supportive of one another.
It's the costumes, the music, the variety. It's nonstop entertainment, and the sportsmanship it's the best of what we do. It's what interscholastic educational activities is all about.
There's another full day of performances set for Saturday, and anyone in the public is welcome to come. Tickets are between $10 and $13. Reporting in Yakima, Emily Goodell, KAPP Local News.
Thanks, Emily. Corwin Ford Tri-Cities says it is dedicated to helping fight food insecurity in our area. Today, they took a big step in making sure that kids at one Pasco school don't go hungry. Corwin committed to a 3-year financial donation totaling almost $11,000 to Captain Gray STEM Elementary. Captain Gray provides weekend meals to about 20 students. That's nearly 3,000 meals per school year. This donation is huge for the school's Bite to Go program, which is run by Second Harvest and has been helping children not just at Captain Gray, but across the Tri-Cities.
So we have a program here with easy to open meals that are non-perishable for students to eat on the weekends. We provide 4 meals per weekend per child in the home. So whether they come to Captain Gray or not, we provide food for every child in the home to ensure that they get at least a breakfast and lunch Saturdays and Sundays.
This program has been around for about 6 years now, and organizers say Eastlake Church also contributes greatly to their program by going to Second Harvest and picking up the meals needed for students. All right, it is almost spring weather. Let's take a look outside. We're seeing more of the unsettled skies tonight. Jason Valentine has a look at when you can expect things to slow down.
And we've told you about the $5 roadside fossil purchase that has local experts scratching their heads. Now meet the man whose property it was found on. We'll hear from him after the break.
Do you have a current vehicle loan or lease? Do you want a low financing rate? Do you want a new ride? 0 down and 1.9% financing even on used vehicles. SteveHahnAutoGroup.com.
We're celebrating our 28th anniversary with a new Bronco Sport giveaway during Punch It for Bucks in Broncos at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Punch the board and win over $4,000 in big bucks and 2,800 entries to boost your chances to win a Ford Bronco Sport every Friday and Sunday in March. Plus, don't miss Bronco Billy's bonus rounds where you can earn double the bucks. Be sure to join us on Saturdays for a special anniversary 28-time entry multiplier. Wild Horse Resort and Casino, Pendleton, Oregon. More winners, more often.
You may be eligible for a new tax refund called the Working Families Tax Credit from the Washington State Department of Revenue. Those who qualify could get up to $1,200 back. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
I was 34. I was a business owner. I was a single mom with a 4-year-old, and I felt a lump in the shower. I have cancer. It doesn't have me. I'm gonna get rid of it, and then I'm gonna go on with my life. I was gonna do anything that it took. I did, and here I am, almost 10 years later. I had a little boy. He needs his mom.
Stay connected with your world, wherever, whenever, with a KAPP Plus app.
We begin with breaking news tonight.
Big stories, first alert weather, live streaming, and more. KAPP Plus, available in the App Store and Google Play.
She fulfilled his every fantasy. Because she played these games, my son died.
Was dubbed the first internet murder.
And now she wants to come clean to 2020.
Is this Cherie?
Yes.
2020, tonight at 9/8 Central on ABC.
We know vaccines, immunizations, and boosters save lives. They nearly eradicated polio, protected our infants from chickenpox and measles, and kept our kids safe from whooping cough and meningitis. The best way to keep your family safe from these viruses is to stay informed about when to get vaccinated. If you have questions about vaccinations, like COVID-19 or the flu, talk with your healthcare provider today. Learn more at askyourprovider.org.
The Seattle Sea Dragons battle Orlando, Saturday morning at 10 on KVEW.
Welcome back. Today is Make-A-Wish Day. It's Give Back Day at Washington and Oregon Dutch Brothers locations. They're taking $1 from each coffee purchase and donating it to Make-A-Wish Foundation to supply wishes for local children. This morning, in honor of the Give Back Day, a Richland Dutch Brothers brought in a Make-A-Wish ambassador. That's a local teen whose brother is a Make-A-Wish recipient.
My little brother, he had cancer, and we got a Make-A-Wish trip for him. And so it's just like a something that's like close to me, and I want to say thank you.
A lot of them want to give back to the people that gave to them, so like you can't sit through a meeting and not like tear up about the hard, like they're going through something hard, but all they think about is the nurses that have been caring for them, and they want to give back.
Now, the money raised locally will be used to grant as many wishes as possible for more than 30 kids in the Tri-Cities and surrounding areas. Again, this is only happening today. Local Dutch Brothers close at 11 p.m. And here's a sign of spring. The city of Yakima's Fisher Park Golf Course opened for its 2023 season today. Par 3 9-hole course is located on 40th Avenue across from Eisenhower High School. They've got specials throughout the season, including Senior Citizen Day on Mondays, Ladies' Day on Tuesdays, Men's Day on Thursdays, and Family Day after 3 p.m. on Sundays. Ken Wilkinson with the course says this is something people of all golf levels can do.
None of our holes are very, very long. It's great for beginners and even for those that have been playing a long time like me that need to work on their short game and certainly their putting.
Now, the golf course is open from 8 a.m. till dusk, and the season runs until October.
Now, KAPP First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Friday evening, everyone. Hope you've had a wonderful day today, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend planned. Weather is going to be nice. It's just going to be a little bit cooler than we expect for this time of year. Now, these winds, we're still seeing it in the mid-Columbia and the Blues, and even a little bit in Yakima, are going to slow down in the overnight period. We do have that cooler weekend ahead, and mountain snow looks to continue into tomorrow morning. So do take note of that. So take a look at our futurecast. Still more snow in the Cascades and more snow in the lovely Blue Mountain region. We still have a little chances of those residual showers into the evening hours. Then those are going to move on, and then as we get to our overnight period, there are going to be some cells in places. So keep an eye out for maybe some slick roads tomorrow morning. Then a bit of scattered showers, very light if it does come to your area tomorrow evening. Then those will finally move on, and it looks like Sunday will be a much nicer day, maybe a little bit more sunshine than we're seeing for your Saturday. So we still have a winter weather advisory. That's until tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Now, this started yesterday late morning, so 6 to 10 inches in the upper elevations for the Blue Mountain region and 6 to 21 inches for the Cascades. That's above 2,500 feet. So if you are traveling over the pass tonight or early tomorrow morning, again, keep an eye on those conditions and restrictions at the passes. It's very important to do. So as we move along into the rest of our weekend, we are going to be seeing those cooler temperatures continue. And again, our average for the Tri-Cities is around 61 for this time of year early in the spring. We're going to be well below that, just slowly warming up and maybe just scratching right near the average as we get to Wednesday and Thursday of next week. But just do expect to see cooler temperatures this weekend across the board. Now, winds, we saw heavier winds today. Again, they were the heaviest on Thursday. Slowed down a bit today. They're going to continue to slow down, 10 to 15 mile per hour winds for Saturday and Sunday. And then as we move into our next work week, we'll see a little bit of a push, especially on Wednesday. Again, 15 to 20 mile per hour winds. So just enough to keep our air quality very nice. So we are way off our average for Yakima, even in the overnight periods. Still pleasant enough temperatures, but darn it, we just want to see a little bit of a heat streak on the way, well below 7 degrees below our average for the Tri-Cities and just a touch below for our overnight period. All right, we have our 2023 countdown, Mariners home opener. My goodness, just 6 days away. Easter is 2 weeks away from this Sunday and a little over a month away for the NFL draft right here on KAPP ABC. So as we get into our overnight period, we're going to be hovering around that freezing mark, a little above or a little bit below. But with those winds slowing down and shower activities slowing down, it should be a very calm overnight period. As we head into our Saturday, possibly some of those afternoon showers, lower 50s, upper 40s, and we're going to stay cool for our weekend into Monday. 7-day forecast, again, more sunshine than not through Monday. Could see some shower activities. We slowly warm up to around the 60-degree mark by midweek. Overnight lows mostly above the freezing mark, but still a fine weekend is on the way. Just make sure you have a sweater or a jacket on. In Yakima, lower 50s through Monday, and then we're a little warmer as we get to our next work week. So folks, the shower activity and the winds will be slowing down overnight. A much nicer Saturday. Could see just a hint of shower activity Saturday afternoon, and a good Sunday is on the way. And we're going to warm up a bit next week.
Thanks, Jason. Well, it took 40 years for Darwin Kneep family to realize they were sitting and walking across a geological treasure trove. We told you about the potential dinosaur tooth that a Kennewick man purchased. Now, Madeline Hagan joins us with a bit more about where that was found. Maddie.
Yeah, Alyssa, we've been trying to track down the property owner, hoping we could find him, and we did. His name is Darwin. He drove in from the Gorge area and set up shop in Kennewick today. That's where we got to learn a little more about his dig site and what he's found in the years since. The property has been in Darwin's family since the 1950s. He remembers digging around as a kid and finding a rock here and there, but it wasn't until the 90s when Darwin got serious about unearthing these incredible finds. Every now and then, he stops by Kennewick to sell rocks and fossils, which is how a potential dinosaur tooth landed in the hands of Enrique Rosas.
Thought maybe it looked like a tooth, but I don't have time to look at it. A lady found a fish in one here not too long ago. It could be worth $10,000, but that's fine. I mean, he's got the same interest I got.
Darwin says he also donates a portion of his sales to local charities that support children with disabilities. Enrique said if his fossil is worth anything, he'd like to help get a high school rowing team started here in the Tri-Cities. And yes, I did ask him if people laugh when they find out he's named Darwin. To him, it's just a sign that he's meant to share these unique finds with others. You can catch more of this rocky situation tonight on KAPP Local News at 6. Alyssa.
Thanks, Maddie. I love that we keep unearthing details on this one. Now, still ahead tonight, we're hearing from a woman who says she lost one eye. She's now legally blind because of contaminated eye drops that have now been recalled. That's next on KAPP Local News at 5.
Portion of KAPP sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
She fulfilled his every fantasy. Because she played these games, my son died.
Was dubbed the first internet murder.
And now she wants to come clean to 2020. Is this Cherie?
Yes. 2020, tonight at 9/8 Central on ABC.
The sweetest dreams are within reach with the very best mattress values at More Furniture. Choose from the Queen 12-inch Aura Hybrid mattress or the 13-inch Nora Hybrid mattress, both in your choice of firmness for only $499, or upgrade to the Queen 12-inch Superior Cooling Aura mattress, still only $499. Get superior comfort with all M. Lily mattresses. We'll also include 2 free pillows, all for just $499, and we will ship it for free. Your best night's sleep at More Furniture.
Hospital bills are often a surprise, and not the good kind. But you may also be surprised to learn that you can get 50, 75, or even 100% off those bills. Thanks to a new law, there's a good chance you're one of the 4 million Washingtonians who qualify. Whether or not you have health insurance, the law requires hospitals provide the care you need at an affordable cost. So ask your hospital or visit affordablehospital.wa.gov to see if you're eligible.
I was 8 years old when I opened my account at Yakima Federal. Everybody in my family banks at Yakima Federal. They went above and beyond to help me, not only as a customer, but as a person. I'm breezy. I'm somebody that they care about. Yakima Federal is my home. It's where I belong. It's where I feel safe and valued. My name is Breezy. I have been a customer of Yakima Federal for 36 years.
Watch Monday at 8 on ABC and KVEW. Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health's Dermatology Center in Benton City.
It's the Mega RV Spring Fling event this Thursday through Sunday only at the Hapo Center. Save big with special show pricing on motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and more. All of your favorite brands under one roof. Tiffin, Newmar, Rockwood, Grand Design, and more. Hundreds of new and used RVs to choose from. Get ready for spring adventures now. Don't miss the Mega RV Spring Fling event Thursday through Sunday at the Hapo Center on Burton Boulevard.
Next, DT. Gwyneth Paltrow takes the stand in her skiing collision civil trial. We've got the latest from Park City, Utah. Plus, our Rosie O'Donnell exclusive. Next, DT.
tonight at 7 on KAPP.
Tonight, we're learning more about the potentially deadly infections linked to several brands of eye drops. The CDC says 3 people died, 8 have lost their vision, and at least 4 people have needed to have an eye surgically removed. Claire Olivia says she is one of those people. A Florida woman is suing, saying she used EzraCare eye drops for 9 months. She says that led to an infection that doctors struggled to treat because it was resistant to antibiotics. Eventually, she says doctors had to remove her eye, leaving her legally blind.
The pain that she felt was like charred pieces of glass that would move within the eye, and it was extraordinarily painful.
All right, so some of the symptoms of infection can include yellow, green, or even clear discharge from your eye, feeling that something is in your eye. 10 brands of eye drops have been recalled. Most of the cases, though, have been linked to brands called EzraCare and Delsum Pharma artificial tears. They're both made by an India-based global pharma. We'll have a final look at your forecast when we come back.
Portion of KAPP sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get into Ford F-150. All amped up and ready for work or play. Get 0.9 for 60 plus 3,000 low APR cash on a 22 F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
Vampires, werewolves.
Cuddle up with your favorite monsters.
They're coming! Who's coming?
Svengoolie.
This may be the biggest thing that's ever happened.
Oh, it's big, all right.
I admit he isn't a particularly good-looking specimen.
Every Saturday night on MeTV.
Defeated. You win. I won. I won.
Want the speed to finally defeat your mortal enemy?
Oh, there he is! I won!
Only Spectrum gives you Speed Boost for the fastest wireless speeds in the palm of your hand. Get game-changing speed with Speed Boost, only with Spectrum One.
When do you feel at home? When you're surrounded by loved ones? Or is it in the solitude of a quiet drive? When you're dancing to your favorite song? Or wherever you have a shoulder to cry on? For decades, we've called this community home and dedicated ourselves to helping those in it find their way in new beginnings and in returns to the familiar, in victories and in defeats, so that no matter where you go, you'll feel at home.
Find your way home in a new Subaru from McCurley Subaru.
There's a new tax refund called the Working Families Tax Credit from the Washington State Department of Revenue. Those who qualify could get up to $1,200 back. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
Next Extra, Succession's final 7 episodes. Full of surprises.
It's going to be a hell of a ride.
The cast drops clues about what's coming, possible spin-offs, and why Brian Cox is completely ready to say goodbye to Logan Roy. Next Extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on KAPP.
Do you have a current vehicle loan or lease? Do you want a low financing rate? Do you want a new ride? 0 down and 1.9% financing even on used vehicles. SteveHahnAutoGroup.com.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get into Ford F-150. All amped up and ready for work or play. Get 0.9 for 60 plus 3,000 low APR cash on a 22 F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take one final look at that weekend forecast.
All right, folks, let's get you ready for your Saturday. Our first weekend of spring, we're going to see highs lower 50s, mid to upper 40s. And again, we're going to see some sunshine. Again, a little bit of shower activity is possible in our afternoon. Winds will be around 10 miles per hour in the Yakima area, upper 40s, lower 50s. Again, looks like most of our sunshine will be at the noon hour. Walla Walla, which has received most of the rainfall this week, is going to see it again. Still nothing sustained, just some quick showers here and there in the afternoon and early evening. And for Ellensburg, we're quite chilly. We're in the mid-40s, still some sunshine to be had. So folks, hope you have a wonderful first weekend of spring.
Thanks, Jason, and thank you so much for watching. World News Tonight with David Muir is next. KAPP Local News is back at 6, and of course you can find the latest anytime on our website, yaktrynews.com. We'll see you back here at 6.